mostly clear skies here in Michiana. A little bit of cloud cover in some of those southwestern areas, or specifically those western areas, but mostly clear skies expected throughout the day today. I do want to zoom out our radar and toggle on the heat advisory. Not seeing one here. We're below that heat advisory criteria or even those extreme heat warnings, and really that's the case for the majority of the United States. A lot of the U.S. seeing those above average temperatures, those above average conditions, but not enough to bring those extreme heat warnings or watches. Instead, some areas are seeing the orange, which is that heat advisory. That's in areas of the South and the Plain states. You can see Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, into Arkansas as well. And then even in some of our western areas, yes, there, New Mexico, up into Washington State, Oregon, even seeing some of those heat advisory concerns. So heat is definitely playing a role in the forecast throughout much of the United States today. That's because we've got in the upper atmosphere a large ridge, and then that results as a high pressure system that a lot of the United States is seeing, and that typically brings those clear skies and then shifts some air out of the south, bringing some of those warmer temperatures. Here in Michiana today, cloud cover mostly limited. As I said, expecting to see mostly sunshine. As we get into some of those evening hours, though, that's when we could get a little bit more cloud cover back into our area, but mostly sunny day for the majority of Michiana and for majority of our Saturday. Day planner for today, winds out of the south. They could be around 5 to possibly 15 miles per hour, isolated with some of those gusts. And then again, mostly those temperatures into the 80s, then into the 90s for that peak temperature of the day today in those afternoon, early evening hours. 92 is likely where we peak for the day, back down into the 80s and then into the 70s in the overnight hours. Again, not expecting much relief in those overnight hours into tomorrow. Heat index this afternoon, because we have the heat still around and that humidity also still around. Well, we've got some of those heat indices that are around 95 degrees to upwards. Isolated areas could see near 100 degrees. Notice just to our west there, Chicago, 101 expected for that peak heat index as we get into the later portions of the afternoon and into those early evening hours. Now also look at the heat indices we're expecting to see Sunday and Monday. So you can see Saturday, as we talked about, near 95, some upward areas around 100. That'll continue for Sunday. Monday, expecting to start to see the cool down a little bit. And by cool down, I mean still that heat index around 90, 95 degrees, but lower than what we're seeing today and tomorrow. We do start to see a drop in that temperature as we get into the work week, but not really a drop in that humidity. It stays pretty consistent over the next 7 days. Notice the muggy meter toggling right between muggy and miserable, unfortunately, as we go through the entirety of this 7-day forecast. Those dew points expected to be right around 70 degrees, which is that muggy, and then getting towards that tropical feeling air as we continue through our week forecast. We do have rain expected on the way after a dry start to our August. We've only seen a trace amount of rainfall for the last week, for the start of August. Continuing to see dry conditions today, also into Sunday, before rain chances come back into the forecast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the start of your work week. Many people back to school for this following week. Rain chances and storm chances ahead in the forecast. So let's take a quick look at our future track for what you can expect starting tonight. Not expecting any rainfall for the evening hours, just a little bit of cloud cover continuing into Sunday. Not really expecting those rain chances around either, just a little bit of cloud cover, clear skies. Rain chances do come back into the forecast late Sunday night into Monday morning. And that's when you expect to see some of the rain showers, possibly some of those isolated storms sticking around too. They're pop-up showers, mostly associated with that daytime heating that we're seeing. That'll continue Monday into